So this is kind of the ongoing issue I've been working on. This is probably going to be quite a few videos, okay, a handful of videos dealing with this issue until I get it fixed, to let you guys kind of know what's going on. So this next little clip here is basically what's been happening for the last couple months. I bought this 85 Sportster Ironhead back in February. Rode it 2 months, just no problem at all. I mean, it was like butter. It was awesome. No problems. Everything is cool. Felt like I got an awesome deal, and then all of a sudden it did this, and it just freaking died. And first time it died, I was actually 2 hours into a ride, going 65, 70 miles down the highway, and yeah, I mean, so as you can see, I mean, there's just kind of no warning. Seems to be running fine. It's definitely warmed up. When I shot that video that you just saw, it had ran for about 15 minutes and died. Then it wouldn't restart for a little while. Started right back up about an hour later and ran for about 6 or 7 minutes before it did what you saw in the video. So it's been a mystery. When I described these symptoms online, most people thought it was electric, so I have chased down a lot of different things. So I just wanted to let you know where I'm at in the project in this video, kind of a recap to get you up to speed, and then I'll try to document as I go from now on. The first thing I did was my mechanic took a look at it. You know, he shook his head like, man, you could spend a lot of money figuring what this is, because it's easy to fix a bike that's not running, but when it's running, it's really hard to identify what the hell's going on to make it just stop like that. So he warned me that it could be a lot of money to figure it out. So I decided to just take it home and try to plug away and figure it out myself. The one thing he pointed out to me at the time, though, is that the headlamp was shorting out. So just the regular engine vibration was causing it to flicker, something I hadn't even noticed. So I took it apart. I will show you a video on a different video what it looked like. It was pretty horrendous. When you took the cover off and you saw that casing for the bulb, it was almost completely rusted in half on the back side. So you got in there. The wiring actually didn't look too bad. I think it was just shorting out because of the casing being just so loose. It was just shaking, and some of the connections were coming loose a little bit. So first thing I did was rewire the headlamp, put a new headlamp assembly in, started it up, hoping maybe it was just a short in there. Started it up, and it died 20 minutes later. Next thing was I had a rear turn signal out, so I thought, well, okay, maybe there's some short going on back there. I knew it wasn't the bulb because I took it out, it looked fine, but I did see a lot of rust on the inside of the housing. So I bought new housing for it, and rewired that. When I got into that back fender, I could see the wiring was just trash. I mean, I was amazed that it ever worked because it was just barely a string hanging on. It was busted completely in two. It was nasty. So I rewired the back. So this kind of led me to believe that, yeah, it probably is a wiring issue. And so I put it back together and it died again. So okay, so I get a lot of advice online saying, it sounds like a coil. Sounds like the coil's overheating. Probably need to replace the coil. The coil wasn't that much money to replace, so I ordered a new one and replaced the coil. That didn't do anything. So I next replaced the ignition because the key was just felt a little wobbly inside. I didn't feel that bad to me, but I don't know. I had been told that might be it. So again, not much money to do, so put on a new ignition switch. That didn't fix it. And each time I'd replace one of these parts, I'd snip the wires, clean up all the connections, make them look all good again. None of this seemed to help. By this time, maybe just from so many hard starts or whatever, but the battery was getting a little bit old, and that battery kind of crapped out on me, so I went ahead and got a new battery. Still didn't fix the problem. I'm trying to remember if there's anything else I've done. Seems like I've been chasing my tail for a long time on this, but anyway, when I replaced the battery and that didn't work, I reached over, shut off the fuel valve, and realized that it was really turning hard on that petcock valve for the fuel shutoff. And in fact, it was turning so hard that just to kind of wrench it shut, I actually got a drip of gas out on my fingers, and that freaked me out because I really don't want gas leaking onto my engine when I'm going down the road. So I decided to order a new petcock valve. While that was coming in the mail, I took the tank off, poured it upside down, and flecks of the lining of the inside of that gas tank were coming out 3-inch strips of that shit. So turns out I'm really pretty confident that this is the problem. That tank lining apparently is pretty common for that stuff to break down over time, especially with the newer gasolines. A lot of ethanol. Ethanol is a detergent, so you get 10% ethanol gas in there, and it's basically going to start to peel that off eventually. It's like paint thinner, and it's a long, crappy process. So you'll see in my other videos that the adventures of getting that lining out. I finally got the lining out, put it all back together, and it still died. So my theory is now basically based on my tech support that I get online from some of my friends on Facebook and such, is that it probably was the gas tank that was the problem, but that running it like that for the last couple months, trying to get it running that way, has probably contaminated the carburetor, and the carburetor is a mess. And so if I clean that out, it'll probably fix the problem. So that's what I'm doing now. Problem is, I know nothing about carburetors, so I'm tearing it apart a piece at a time, and that's kind of where we are in the project. So that's the problem I'm dealing with. Hopefully this video series can help other people out who are having a similar issue. Also give you some things to look at first before you go replacing a whole bunch of parts like I did. I wasted 1.5 gallons of gasoline and about 15 minutes of labor to find out that that gas tank was crappy. If I had started there, I may not have had to replace all those electrical components. So now I know, and now you know. Anyway, I'll keep you up to speed. I can't wait for the video that I get to publish saying I finally fixed the fucking thing, because every time I have to order a part, I have to wait a week or two for the shipping. So it's not that I've been putting a whole lot of time and money into this, but it's just like a constant flow of money, and waiting a week between parts has basically turned this into a 2-month project trying to hunt this problem down. Really infuriating, man. If I get, if I had parts locally, even if I had been chasing my tail like this, it'd probably still be fixed by now, because I wouldn't be having to wait so long between projects. Anyway, we'll stop rambling. I hope to update you soon with some actual solutions. Cheers.